Welcome into the Vitality Handbook. My name is Yao A. Owusu Jr. To my left, Nicholas Lopez Jr., the Terminator. To my right, Andre Bibbins Jr., the Alien. Without further ado, it is season 3. You know what time it is. It's all about the conversation. The pillar for today is sleep. Conversation. I enjoy sleep.
For real.
Is it needed? I enjoy it. I know I feel great after I have a good night's sleep. What's the hoopla? What's the connection?
Hey, man. I've learned a lot wearing this Oura Ring so far. As far as giving me insight into how much REM sleep I'm getting, uses body temperature, uses movement. Its algorithm has the most sensors compared to any other device in the market.
Just the ring. The ring is giving you all the information?
Yeah,
okay.
Ring. So, unless I'm in the lab and I have the electronics telling me how much REM I'm getting, this is a more accessible option.
Next best thing.
Okay? Mm-hmm. So, right now where I'm at with this, okay, now I want to see how I can, specifically because they have a bunch of data points, I want to see how my actions before bed affect my REM sleep. Because when my REM sleep is low, I got, so far from the past 2 weeks, I've gotten like one night of sleep where I got 2 hours of REM sleep. My average is like 30 minutes.
So REM sleep, why is that important? Like you say REM for all the general pop out there. What is?
That's when that's like your, on the internet when you got to clear your cookies and you got to just clear the, you got to just renew, you got to store information, you have to.
Yeah, that's the key, is the information.
REM is just like that holy grail or that secret sauce, okay, for the mind, for the body, for just like a different level of restoration. I would say it is as far as sleep is measured, if you think about measuring like your bank account or your finance, like, okay, how wealthy is this person? Okay, how much, like what's their, okay, they have this much debt, they have this much assets, okay, blah, blah. If you think about evaluating somebody's sleep quality, REM is going to be that variable of like,
measuring stick.
Yeah, REM is going to like, that is the ultimate. Basically, without REM, you wouldn't be able to be wealthy in a sense. In the same way, like without assets, you wouldn't be able to be wealthy. All right? Because if you just had liabilities, then.
Yeah, I mean, even simplify it, you're going to the business aspect, which makes perfect sense. But rapid eye movement, REM, that's deep sleep. So think of someone just on the surface, right? And you're like, man, I really got some good sleep. I really remembered a dream, or I thought about, okay, that all happens in REM. So you store memory in REM sleep, rapid eye movement. You get rid of the clutter, like you said, all the cookies on your internet, click all those windows closed, and then your operating system runs smoothly. That's what he's talking about. So you clicking all those windows off of your internet doesn't happen efficiently unless you're in REM sleep, rapid eye movement. Your brain's in a different wave. You're actually going into subconsciousness or even deeper unconsciousness, because you might not be conscious of your dreams, or you might be conscious of your dreams, so you're in a subconscious realm. So when you're awake, you're supposed to be conscious, but some people just are zombies and they sleepwalk, right? They go through the world without awareness. But you need REM sleep if you're going to maximize your sleep. Mm-hmm. So that's basically the end of that. If you don't get into that REM sleep, you're not going to feel rested. You're not going to be able to remember what you studied the other day. You won't be able to maximize your weightlifting program that you did the other day. You won't be able to maximize your nutrition. So we think on our pillar system, it's mindset first, then sleep, then nutrition, right? So you can get away sometimes if you're in good shape to get away with nutrition. If you work out long enough, hard enough, if you rest long enough, you can kind of get away with it. But if you don't sleep, ain't no telling what's going to happen. But actually, it is telling what's going to happen. You are going to die slowly. And I mean that literally. Sleep deprivation is one of the number one things, I would say top 5 things that's killing people, because they're stressed and they can't manage their stress because they don't sleep, or they don't get into good sleep, REM sleep. Okay, so getting off all the sciences, getting off all of the business jargon analogies to sleep, we get all that. But if you don't get all that, I know Mr. Dre simplifies it to the max. So we're talking about sleep. It's good, it's bad, do we need it?
Sorry guys, I'm pulling up all the, but I hear, I have all the.
The Terminator's pulling it up, now you're in trouble.
I would say
Trouble.
Sleep is number one, man. Sleep is number one. You can work out. You can have a strong mindset. You can think you're invisible. You could freaking have bad.
That was me.
Well, you can have, your nutrition could be up and down. We're not gonna say bad. It could be up and down, right? It's decent. And what else? And recovery. Your This is gonna tie in. Sleep is number one. You can have all of those things, those pillars. That can be okay. Now, the sleep is important because of the recovery that you get from sleep. I'm looking at it. I'll go in it from a view that way. I think sleep is the most number one as far as recovery and mood as well, and just functional. So mood and just being a functional human being.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And getting the work done the next day and being sharp and all of those things.
I agree, actually, even though we have our pillar system of mindset being number one. But again, if you have a strong mind or even a medium mind, but no sleep, then you have a weak mind.
You have a weak mind.
So, and I love that because you can do that with most of the pillars, but the number one thing when we were putting together what goes first, sleep or mindset, I was juggling it. The reason why I went with mindset is just because the majority of the population are controlled by the media, are controlled by the parents, are controlled by the family, controlled by the wives, so they don't have a strong mind. But if you don't get sleep,
you're gonna be weak. Your mind, like you said,
nothing
your
you can
mind
do. So that's why I put second on the totem pole.
You're not functional. And before you go on that, just to pose a question. Besides all the fancy stuff, the rings, the what else you said in there?
Monitors,
REM sleep,
REM
all
sleep.
of,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
those little things. What actions and steps would you take, or do you take? Because we don't all have. I mean, you're never going to have REM sleep or a great sleep 7 days a week,
Nah, not every night.
365.
Not
So
every
what
night.
actions do
Not
you
every night.
take for you? That actually, every time you do that, there's a certain time you get home, a certain time you lay in the bed, certain time you do something.
How do you set up for like a perfect
Set
sleep?
up for the perfect sleep where I got my REM sleep because I did this, the actions you took before bed,
Oh yeah.
right? Or quality sleep. Even if people you don't get the REM sleep, but at least you got.
I know Nick wants to
good
go,
sleep.
but I'll just answer mine real quick. Preparation.
So
It starts with preparation. So if I know that we're going out to dinner and we're going to get home at 8:30, and I know 10 p.m., that's my cutoff. I got to be preparing myself or already getting ready to go down. Like that's my limit. I know my limit. If I go past 10 p.m., I'm not going to be able to get the best night's sleep. So I have to know my limits. I have to be in bed by 10 p.m. if I'm going to get my best night's sleep, because I'm automatically going to wake up at 5 no matter what. Sometimes a little bit before, sometimes a little bit afterwards. So I need that 10 p.m. because 10 p.m., 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's my 7. That's my magic number. 7 hours to me is perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
That's why it's my favorite number. I don't know why everything is 7 for some reason is great for me, right? So I want to get that 7 hours. I want to prepare myself to make sure I get that. So I need to make sure dinner's done, everything's done. So I'm setting up myself to be done completely by 10, so I can at least be in bed or prepping myself. So brushing my teeth, putting my baby to sleep, putting the wife to sleep if she's there, cutting off all electronics, getting into my room, cutting off the lights, making sure there's a good enough temperature, like Nick loves to say, making sure all the electronics are out of my room, so I'm not worried about my phone, for my laptop, all that stuff is out of the room. Keep the door cracked so I can hear my alarm for my phone outside, right? And I keep it open so I can hear the baby monitor. So all that's done. That's my perfect night. And then I'm hitting the pillow between 10 and 10:30. Hopefully before 10, then it's perfect. That's it for me.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try putting my phone outside. So if y'all don't see me tomorrow morning,
Hey, wait a minute! Don't do that. Nick needs to sleep with his phone attached.
I thought about it, and
That's
I never thought about outside, but I was like, you know what? I mean, I think
that'd be helpful.
Go ahead. No, for sure.
You know we both on our phone.
For
right?
sure, but I'll tell you what I found out is that electronic is actually the worst alarm clock. I think the old school alarm,
Way
that
better.
one gonna wake you up,
Way better.
or put
Sunlight.
on, I guess a good
Honestly,
radio station, right, or something. So when you wake up, something is speaking to you. You're talking like, oh, it's gonna be 39 degrees
You want something that's
so now
natural
you're
as
getting
possible.
information to how to start your day too. It's
Honestly-
going to be rainy. It's
Hold
going
on.
to be. Go ahead.
Honestly, think about all the, I don't want to say, this word been overused, but think about all the, I have to go at 3:30 because I have a
Come on,
client.
let's go.
But basically, this is my last point, and then you edit it out.
Yeah.
Speak about, because I don't have to be on it, but you catch the reason why there's like a little apprehension, actually a lot of apprehension to be like, you know what, I know it's the best thing. I put my phone on airplane mode and I put it outside. And I want to I'm gonna try it. If you don't see me tomorrow, this, okay. But I want to try those lamps. There's like a lamp, like you said, what you said about the old school. There's a lamp that uses like natural sunlight lights, gradually goes up. And the thing is, number one, we don't be waking up sometimes when the sun's out. We be
Waking up before that.
But also, to try those new things, most of us, I think, in the kind of appointment-based industry, think about the times when you were supposed to wake up at 5 to make a 6 a.m.
Yeah,
But you woke up at 5:50. I remember one time, and then I could bounce. I remember one time waking up late because I missed my alarm, and jumping out the bed, and in air changing. So by the time I landed back on the ground, I was out the crib. So talk about those stories about how do you help people transition where like too much on the line, where
Slowly.
they can't really risk.
Do it slowly.
Okay?
Don't, if you know that you might be a risk for that, try something a little bit different. You like to have the temperature at this rate.
Yeah.
Try just one thing that's not going to cause you any money, something a little bit different, and then that works, then try something else. Putting your phone or electronics out of your room, and if that's how you wake up, it's risky.
Yeah, very risky.
It's risky, but it's a lot better.
But to combat that, I think is where you put your phone outside, right, the door, and out the door, and now that's where you invest in now the alarm clock costs like $5.
For which one?
$5-10 alarm clock.
Alarm? Yeah,
You
yeah,
put
for
on,
sure.
When the music come on,
Alarm
or
clock's way better.
some type of like meditation music.
Yeah, you come in with
whatever
beautiful
you want.
music running through the lilies, waves, all that. Yeah, for
waves,
sure.
whatever you want
For
on
sure.
there, wake
Yeah.
you up. So that way,
For sure.
the first thing isn't like, let me check my phone, you know, and then
yeah.
you're checking your phone to see if client canceled
100%.
or whatever it is, right?
100%.
Emails, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's going to kind of really, honestly,
Disrupt your sleep.
I want to say disrupt the sleep, but what's going to happen is that it'll make your wake up a lot more better and a lot more focused. Because now you're not waking up to
You know what?
to texts or emails.
Wanna-
You're waking up to your
try that.
natural, and
try
then
it.
you're going in the shower. You get out the shower or whatever. Now let me check my phone.
I'm gonna try it. I'm not
one-
gonna wait for study. I'm gonna apply Yao's
100%.
technique. I'm gonna put my phone aside, see how it affects my REM sleep, because I'm gonna have it measurable. I'm gonna try a different alarm
Yeah.
clock.
The
I'm
real
buy,
alarm. The real alarm.
Real
buy
alarm.
that sunlight one.
Real. No.
But that-
see, that's good.
It's
good.
That's
I'll try
going to be
both.
harder for you to adapt because you've never, if you've been waking up to sounds, if that's what wakes you up, if your alarm clock is sounds, start with a more natural sounding alarm. Your phone is very digitized. That old school alarm, I had that all the way in LA. That was a rule. I stopped that. That's my fault when I came here to New York because I got, okay, I got it. I never, they know.
but-
I'm
okay,
not on
so
my
time
phone.
out.
It
Challenge.
actually,
It brings your anxiety
challenge.
down, everything.
I'm telling
I'm a
you.
challenge
Yeah,
y'all.
you're
So
right.
It does.
So this is the difference for the audience to see for the audience to see the challenge. I'm gonna
I
challenge
see where you're
y'all.
going with that, though.
I'm gonna
I see
challenge
where-
y'all.
yeah.
Okay, so this is a perfect example of.
Okay.
But the studies say waking up to natural light is more effective. Boom.
Listen,
I'm saying, but go ahead.
perfect.
That's
It
the-
is a perfect situation, but like Dre said, we don't all have perfect situations. Maybe you don't have a window that has sunlight coming to it, so that's gone. What do? We're about finding solutions that works for you. So that's out the window. You can't do that, right? Right now, you don't have that alarm clock. You might want to go buy one, but you don't have it. What everyone could do is take that phone, put it just outside your room, crack that door so it's not in your vicinity. It's not in you're sleeping. You're sleeping, you're
Yo.
sleeping. You got to make sure you prepare yourself. So that's number
I'm
one
nervous.
for
I'm not gonna lie.
me. That's what number one for me. So let's give it a quick 1 minute spiel of what you give advice for people to do. I basically gave my advice already, so it's on you, Dre, and then you to Nick, right? Take those electronics out of your room and try and get up as naturally as possible. Might not be from the sunlight, it might be from artificial lamp that's doing that. It might be from the natural alarm clock that gives you a natural sounding, an older sounding. We're used to that, bells, whistles, waves, whatever it is, okay? So that's mine. Mr. Dre, then Mr. Nick. Your advice to help someone kind of get closer to optimizing their sleep. Like we said, what our best night's sleep would be. Like, what steps do they take?
Yeah, I'm gonna go first.
Okay, go ahead.
Basically, my spiel would be, because I was looking up the list of the negative effects of sleep deprivation. I was gonna go off and listen, but then I realized, what's the culture of sleep deprivation? And I think we spoke about this when check out our previous episodes. I would say, when Dre was talking about you think you're invincible, you don't need any sleep. That was me. And honestly, in my mind, I was like, all right, so run an experiment. If you are part of that culture and you're listening to this, I know the numbers I was putting up with sleep deprivation. I know those numbers. And the numbers I'm putting up now without sleep deprivation or without that same culture mindset, the numbers speak for themselves. And it could be anything. It could be the weights. It could be, I'm talking about financial numbers because that's what motivates. That's the culture sleep deprivation is most tied to. With the sleep deprivation culture, I can make more money if I don't sleep.
That's with everybody.
So I would just say compare the numbers and see, like run an experiment. 30 days sleep deprivation, see the numbers you put up. Dre, you said it before. 30 days without sleep deprivation, see the opportunities, because opportunities count as money too.
You can work smarter, sharper. And you said with the sleep.
100%.
With the sleep, you can work smarter.
Smarter.
That's why, because you're sharper. You're moving. You're not dragging your feet. That stops you too from getting stuff done. So yeah.
Yeah, so run the experiments. Like Nick said, run the experiments. He's already ran it. He gave you an example. Dre saying sharper, smarter, better with sleep. That's a fact. That's an actual scientific fact, not in studies. People have done these by themselves, with themselves for years. So like, comment, subscribe. As always, we love you. Let's get into it.